This episode of Pop Cult Parent is brought to you by Young King Hair Care. Young King Hair Care is a multicultural grooming company for young men. Leveraging plant-based ingredients, Young King creates clean products to promote textured health and growth. Inspired by their son Cade, husband and wife team Cor and Stefan launched this company in December 2019 with the mission to redefine male grooming for the next generation of Black and brown men, giving them the confidence they need to be their best selves 24/7, 365. My two sons have been using Young King Hair Care products since they launched, and I highly recommend everything, especially their leave-in conditioner. Featured on Good Morning America, Shark Tank, Essence, CNBC, and more, Young King can currently be found in the shelves of over 15,000 Target, Walmart, and CVS stores, as well as Amazon. And just for members of Pop Cult, use the discount code PopCultParent to receive 15% off your order at YoungKingHairCare.com. That's PopCultParent, one word, to get 15% off your order.
What up, internet? Who you are, where you be, where you at, what you see. This is Pop Cult Parent, your favorite podcast that talks about everything pop culture related. And I'm one of your hosts, Mark M.F. Jones, and I am honored to be back and be joined by...
This is Niels R.Y. It's a reaction, so I'll do an AKA in case you tripped up Shannon.
Okay.
Cool. Then this is Shannon, aka fellow co-host of Pop Cult Parent, mon ami. Remember it.
Nice. And we
Too soon.
Too soon. Look. I'm gonna just say it right now. We're talking about reaction. You guys demanded it. You craved it. You're like, more X-Men reactions. And after that groundbreaking episode 5, Remember It, of X-Men 97, we're like, we got to give the people what they want. So we had to bring in the heavy hitters, and we're joined by Gavin and Michael. Yo, fellas, thank you for being here. Why don't you say what's up to the audience?
Awesome. Thanks for having us on. I really appreciate it. Hey, y'all, it's Mike. I ain't have no good AKAs. I feel like Shannon took the only one I was going to get close to.
Hey, y'all, it's good to be back. Hey, the juice is no longer loose. We here. It's been a wild week. And yo, come on. I'm ready to talk about it, yo. I'm ready to talk about it.
When was that? What year was that? Because this is X-Men 97 and
oh, was it the
crossover?
No way.
They're like watching the news in this episode, a white Bronco, and like O.J. Simpson on the car.
When was that? That was in the early 90s, though, wasn't it? Like
94.
94.
We just
okay.
But no, we're gonna talk about X-Men 97. It's been sweeping the nation. I feel like it has almost 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, just like hit after hit. They are not missing with this show. It's just like hit after hit after hit. And this last episode, Remember It, just left everyone speechless. Just shook the whole comic book pop culture world, and like we just gotta talk about it. We don't have no scripts. We're just speaking from our heart and going at it. But before we start, Nels, you got a little bit of like info background for us?
Yeah, I just think we need to give a big shout out to the creator of X-Men 97. I believe he was also the showrunner. His name is Bo DeMaio. This brother deserves his shine. I've read a little bit, so some stuff went down right before X-Men 97 came out. He had already written or drafted the first season and the second season and was actively working on the third season. Before X-Men 97, he did The Witcher and Moon Knight. Depending on how you feel about Moon Knight, you might be impressed or not impressed by that. But regardless, he did those things. And then came and did X-Men 97 and was let go we don't know the background about it, but he was no longer a part of the project heading into this opening. So I do not want his contribution to get lost as we speak about this amazing episode, because he's the reason this episode is like this. His fingerprints are all up on this episode that the brother is animated in the episode.
Yeah, he got his cameo.
You'll see a picture with him. I believe he's mutant in the episode because he's on Genosha and he's on a date. So his fingerprints are straight up in the episode. And so I do not want it to get lost. His contribution, his role in the show and the creation of X-Men. This man loves X-Men. This man loves mutants, and he gets it. He gets like all the intersectionality in regards to mutants and folks being oppressed. He understands it, and I believe we are reaping the benefits from it. So, just wanted to start off with giving a big shout out to him.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about, y'all. So I'm gonna start off with this. I'll start off with this. This is how I'm gonna start off. Wolverine set boundaries. That's what I'm gonna start off with.
Hey, way to go, King. Way to go, King. Stood on his one. He's like, no. He's like, I won't do this again. I've been alive for 400 years, Gene. Enough is enough.
City Boy's up 1,000 points. City Boy's up 1,000 points. Like, he rejected her after a kiss he's been waiting for years. And there's only one Gene.
And just to break down the line, and Shannon did it, but I did it again. Gavin did it. Just to break down the lines, he said, like, I've seen like 1,000 starlights, and like there's only one you.
Sunrises. Yeah.
And there's only one you. She blushes, she kisses him, and he says, yeah, like you forgot what it was. You're Jean Grey, he's Scott Summers. Them's the rules.
And you just forgot him. Mm-hmm. So go back to him. I'm like, yo, what a hero. Careful, he's a hero. Yo, the Mount Rushmore goes Rose, Jenny, and throw Jean Grey's behind them there, dog. Like, come on. Like, you gotta set some boundaries. You gotta cut these guys loose. Like, I don't know. I was just like, Gene. Gene is messy.
Messy.
Gene wasn't the only one though, because Cyclops.
Okay, all right. And we're gonna get into it. Let's get into it. Because look. First of all, Cyclops, he shouldn't have played that better. He should be like, Gene, it was only a wet dream. Like, it didn't mean nothing. Like, it wasn't nothing, Gene.
You know, I can't control those.
but like, I try to put myself in Scott's situation, dog. Like, I said on this podcast, I would cut off my hands for my wife. I love her with all my heart. If I found out that she's a clone and the children I have bared with her are like that clone's children, hey, I would be like, what? Reality up is down, right? Like, like the world would not make sense. And Scott is trying to find a way to like process this. He's like, I love you, Gene, but like we have kids. And like Gene's just like, do you love her? It's like, yeah, she's you.
Yes.
She's you.
Yes.
She's literally you. I love you.
I love you both.
Yeah.
You know the right answer.
Yeah. And like Gene's energy is like, how could you fall? Like she's acting like she just had a Halloween Gene mask on with like the little slit mouth and a shirt that said Gene on it. Like, how could you fall in love with that? It's like, she's literally you. Like,
it's actually very easy. It's very easy about it.
And this is all on the heels of her having just kissed Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
Like, am I getting
minutes later?
Kiss Wolverine, and she's like,
minutes later.
How can you think about her? How can you think about her and talk to her in your mind? How can you do that?
Like, hidden bonus though. Hidden bonus. That reporter got all the juice, yo. That reporter came on the right and the messiest day ever, yo.
Viral.
Yo, Gene's toxic as hell. Just in case y'all wondering, gaslighting Cyclops about talking to her while she was making out with Wolverine in the lake. Come on now.
Had no problem.
Toxic as hell.
No problem. Thank God Wolverine got some. Now, if it was flipped, would Scott would have set boundaries? If the scripts were flipped and Wolverine was the one she was with, would Scott would be like, no, you need to go back to him.
When you flipping the script, are you talking about?
I'm saying like
been with Wolverine.
Let's say she's been with Wolverine. This whole like just switch the roles. So Wolverine and Jean or Madam Pryor, whatever, they've been together, and would Scott have been that one to be like, no, you need to go back to him?
Absolutely. I can tell you with the utmost confidence, and Mike, feel free to jump in, but I can tell you with the utmost confidence, he would not set boundaries. And this is why. Cyclops has no problem moving on to other women. Cyclops, like part of this, that dream, low-key is inspired from some stuff that went down in the comic books with Cyclops cheating on Jean with Emma. And Cyclops like, yo, it's not that deep. It's like we just mentally are having something going on.
Yeah,
and Jean's
girl.
like, we do that. That's our thing. You
Yeah.
are psychically cheating on me with Emma. So Cyclops has no
Stepping across the
problem.
line.
Yeah.
Cyclops has no
Habitual.
problem.
Habitual
He ain't the Boy Scout.
Habitual line stepper.
Hey, I'll tell you what, this thing made me realize it must be hell dating or being married to a psychic. Like a legit psychic is like, because you get in trouble for stuff that you just like let me see your phone. Like, I'm in your mind, I'm in your thoughts. Like, you ain't getting no peace, dog. Like,
Yeah, you can't step across the avenue. You can't step across the astral plane. You ain't going nowhere.
that's
Without
an
me
empty
knowing.
head, dude. You just like
Yeah.
food and water. Like, that's all you can think about.
I hate to
You forgot
take it
her.
there.
In her.
I hate to take it there, but there's some benefits in dating the psychic. They know exactly what you like. Think about this. Cyclops has only been with psychics.
That's the only type of women he dates.
Once he went psychic, he never went back. You know what I'm saying? He's dated multiple kind of psychic.
He's talking like Gambit. This thing's deeper than skin.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
So Mike, just to have you jump in, can you like that? What I was talking about, like that did happen, right? That was in like, I don't know if it was Madeline, like I thought it was Emma, but was that like in the comics?
So it wasn't Emma, it was Psylocke. So
okay.
him and Psylocke had like a little mental affair, and that's what him and Jean broke up, and then he went to Emma. So, like I said, like you said, psychics are the folks.
Summer's messy. Are all the psychics messy in X-Men? Is it just if you're a psychic, you just
if you're
that's how
dealing
you
with
roll?
Cyclops, I can tell you confidently the answer is yes.
That little circle.
Dang, that's a lot. Okay. Since we're talking about the mansion and Cyclops went militant for a second, y'all. On camera. Cyclops is like, yo, we're nothing like you. And thank God, because it's the only reason you people are still alive.
Yeah.
He was tired, dog.
Ethered the whole human
Yeah.
race.
He did.
Magneto Jr.
Magneto been leading too long.
I get it. He's like, man, we fighting werewolves, aliens, dinosaurs. Like, I'm tired. Tired of this. And y'all don't even see me as human. Like, forget.
Yeah, that
It's
part
like,
seemed
I
rough. He was
lost
like,
my son.
Yeah.
My
Yep.
son because of y'all. Come on, man.
it was when she asked about his son, when she was like, hey, you're a doctor, we thought you had a whole son. Where is he? Where's he been? That part kind of triggered him. But I also think he was tired of feeling like, hey, I got to prove everything, even though I'm saving y'all lives every step of the way. 3 global extinction level events, and you can't even remember that I'm human too. Probably exhausted.
I mean, Magneto, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, even thinking of his son, it's like my son, even though my son is gone to the future because this is it, he was even lucky to be born because the doctors like you, quote unquote, normal people, you didn't even want to deliver him. You were like, nah, we can't. That's got to eat away at you. And it did until he pretty much snapped.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard like Denzel give that speech in a movie or something. I just can't.
I will not bury my son. My son will bury me. John Q. I can. There's a few more quotes from there.
That. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. That whole like, you're lucky. Like I'm doing what I'm doing, and you're not even grateful. Like I feel like that's been in something. But it was a great moment, man. I tell you, like all the like drama in this episode, I was like. Popcorn. I was like, ooh, like, and I'm like, this is an animated TV show, and I'm watching it like it's like a soap opera.
Yeah, man.
I was going to say, I think Bo DeMaio talked about like this episode being like the big one, and like surprise, like this is probably the most drama I felt like in one episode of like all the animated series, all the way around. Like they brought a lot into one episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I felt like? The Infinity ending. You know what I mean? Like where it was so devastating, and then you gotta wait a whole year to get the end game. I feel like this is a whole week where we're like, hold up, man. You can't just do that to us and leave us in this like, devastating pit of emotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's jump into Genosha then. Genosha started off so well, y'all. I was so excited to see Nightcrawler. I wasn't expecting Nightcrawler. One of my favorite mutants. Seeing Nightcrawler all up there, it put a smile on my face. Several things happened afterwards, but I wanted to start it off with a sunny aspect of our time in Genosha. What about y'all?
Genosha was lit.
Yeah.
It was having a good time. Like everybody out there, like thriving and stuff like that. The inflation got over that way, but like it's okay. But like they was partying, they dancing in the sky, like
and Mike, there were some mutants there. I'm trying to double check. I think I saw Dazzler. I think I saw what's his name, Jamie Mardox, Multiple Man. I think I saw Exodus.
Exodus was in there, rare appearance.
Okay.
Boom Boom was up in there too. The Morlocks were there.
Yep. Pixie.
Yep. Pixie was there. Blob, not Blob.
Glob Herman. Glob.
Yeah.
How could we forget Glob Herman? Like, my God. I don't know why I like him. He seemed like the weirdest mutant, but I was like, I like him. And they were intent on he's here. Like they showed him like 7 shots just repeatedly. Like we get it.
They're trying to sell them Glob Herman action figures. Glob Herman action figures. Hey, I want to just speak on something, and you experts of X-Men, I don't know, maybe I'm digging too deep, but I thought they were laying the seed of like, we see the inflation and we see like the Hellfire Club and like the elites. And I thought subtly they were laying this seed that like, there is no true utopia, right? And left to like the mutants' own devices, yeah, it starts off like great and everyone's equal, but like humans are humans, people are people, and they're going to start finding ways to like separate themselves and have a class system. I don't know. Am I reaching? Because I felt like there was like a little underlying layer of like because with the inflation and then like the Hellfire Club, and they're very elitist and they're like in this tower talking about how to govern things. And I was like, I wonder if they're like just like at the end of the day, people are people. No matter what, like we're all mutant or human. We're like gonna find a way to like find differences and segregate and discriminate against one another.
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I look at this and I'm like, how can someone, how I think we mentioned in some earlier episodes where people might sort of say, oh, X-Men are going woke, or why do all cartoons have to be woke or animated series woke? And I'm like, I don't see how you can look at this and not see, oh, like, yes, the name is mutants, but like this is symbolizing everyone who is quote unquote the other in society.
It's Tulsa.
Yeah. Whether it's your race, whatever it might be, but it's like, this is how people who are quote unquote different, and even among people that are different, we still can't say, oh, we're all the same race. So now this is a utopia. It's like, no, there's like people of the same race will still look at each other and be like, oh, okay, this is why I'm different than this person,
Yeah.
So,
it really was Tulsa. It was like they had their own thing. Life was going good economy.
In fact, DeMaio said like this event was like 9/11, Tulsa, Pulse nightclub. He like named it like a couple other places. He's like, this was that for the mutants, like a big event like that. Who knows what we're gonna see after? But so I don't know, Mark, if this is like symbolizing like they're just human. Because one thing I've seen, Mike, feel free to jump in, but one thing I've seen is that like the mutants have tried several times to make kingdoms. And like when they have stuff between them, it's kind of simple human stuff. It's more so when like the reasons that the countries fail is because humans are so threatened by a nation of mutants
Yeah.
that something always happens to them.
And I don't mean that like they were doomed to fail or anything, but I definitely thought there was like at the end of the day, people are going to people. Like the Hellfire Club is going to make sure they get theirs, and like, yeah, we're here to make sure mutants. But like, I don't know. I thought there was just this thin layer of that in there.
Yeah, like even if we when the attack started happening, right? Like most of the big important people were up near. They were telling everybody go get to the gardens or something like that. They were up at all this place, but you notice the Morlocks were still back in the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
So like the class, like classism is it's still mutants aside. Like I think like the humans are always going to be humans, and like they kind of recreate some of the same systems. So like the idea of like there's no true utopias. I think it's a good commentary.
But until then, it was beautiful, man. I was like, I don't know how it is in the comics. I was like, this definitely has Wakanda vibes going on.
Yeah. Even the opening sequence felt very like floral and Wakanda like opening and very positive. And yeah, I felt that too.
Fun fact: Genosha is north of Madagascar, so
Oh, okay.
Genosha would technically be part of Africa.
Okay.
Look at that.
Look
at
at
that.
look at Magneto now.
Now you
Mike,
have to cook that.
so they mention a council. In fact, I think they use the words quiet council. And if memory serves me correctly, I know of one quiet council in the world of X-Men, and that is from the most recent run of X-Men, the Krakoa era, where Magneto, Madeline Pryor, your boy, what's his name, who leads a Hellfire Club? Why am I forgetting his name?
Sebastian Shaw.
Sebastian Shaw, Nightcrawler, like low-key Myra, who so that like there was a few folks in there. I was wondering if that was like, I don't know if Genosha had a council before, or was that inspired? Do you think it was inspired by the Krakoa era?
I think it was inspired by the Krakoa era because like a lot of people that were on there, like Sebastian Shaw, Nightcrawler, Emma Frost, Madeline Pryor, and then like they had Moira McTaggart in that mix as well. Like those are people in the comic book that were in this Quiet Council. The big difference is like the Quiet Council was like the group of mutants that ran the island of Krakoa, whereas on this one it's Genosha. But I think it was still trying to get you to think like the same sort of thing. They're bringing some of the current X-Men comic book lore into this. So like I think it's a good way to kind of like bridge from what used to be to like what it is right now to like kind of get people re-excited and kind of check out the comic books right now as like they're getting ready to like go in a different direction.
Yeah. Cool.
When they arrived, when they were showing Genosha, like it was just so cool to see this mutant economy, right? And like this culture. And I don't know if you guys saw some of the signs. It was like forearm t-shirts for sale and scale skin care. And I was just like, yo, it's like what a lot of groups are looking for. Like we want our own shops and places to see us. Like there's a whole thing around black hair, and like it's so hard to get black hair done outside of a black community. And I think that like they were tapping into that, like oh, mutants can now you can get your wing warmers, or you know what I mean, just all the little weird stuff they need. But it's like here normal in Genosha. I don't know. I thought all that. I love that kind of stuff. All the little world building, all the little blocks that we don't really like see. They just help elevate this world. I love that stuff.
Yeah, no, I love that. And even thinking about what Magneto had been saying, even as the whole culture piece, even art, things like that. Like I hadn't even really thought about it. Like for a world of mutants, this is how art would look. Like, yeah, it might be normal to like somebody with 8 arms paints a picture, and this is how this picture would look.
Yeah.
Or even dancing. Yeah, it's normal that like when we dance, we're not just dancing like humans do, we're not just crip walking around or whatever. Like we're legit. We're flying in the air doing the waltz or what, and that's
because why not? Because why not? Because we can.
Yeah.
But and meanwhile, like, Gene is at the bar. Natalie Pryor at the bar.
Getting sauced up.
Awesome back.
She's like, yo, I'm about to have a good time tonight.
Got a little drink.
Maybe I'll text Scott tonight. You up? Hey, you up? You up?
all them thoughts about to be clouded.
All the thoughts.
All of
them
So-
saucy ass thoughts.
So y'all, we got to talk about the fact that we got Rogue and Gambit closure. Like closure from that whole thing. I want to say Nightcrawler is to blame and should be praised for all of this. Nightcrawler had a bar, y'all. He when he was looking at how Gambit was looking at Rogue, and Gambit was like, "Man, well, like a sinner like me, I ain't gonna be with somebody like her."
Love without sin.
He said, "Love is measured by what we forgive."
Mhm. Mhm.
Dang, yo, that's
That was
a
a bar.
bar.
Yeah.
You know, with Rogue and Gambit, there's all this dialogue and theme of touch and skin and feeling, right? And then Nightcrawler starts it off when he's like, "Oh, one can see that your souls touch," or I forgot how he words it, but it's like, and then there's just all this like talk about, "I can feel you, I can't touch you, we're deeper to skin." And through the whole episode, even at the end, "I can't feel you." I'm just like,
Yeah, oh my
it was
goodness.
beautiful, man.
Oh,
It was
man.
beautiful.
I would argue that the entire season has been about love so far.
Mm.
Like unrequited, like very reciprocated, just everybody feeling neglected. Look, Rogue was the most sought after character in the whole season between the Magneto and Gambit kind of Gambit that we were seeing the whole time. It felt like they were trying to say this is what kind of just the lack of love is the whole season. Nobody has really felt reciprocated. If you really think about it from episode 1 to now, has anybody actually felt like they've been responded to genuinely?
Mm-hmm.
Even Jean was the clone. Like nobody has actually been given that love. Let's talk about Storm and Forge. We could talk about Scott and Jean. We can talk about Wolverine and Jean, even though Wolverine finally got the response he wanted. Nobody has gotten any type of love this season. Even Magneto could touch her and he still couldn't touch her. That part, like, I think this whole season is about love and some kind of other kind of undertone there.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I
I
think you're right. I think you're onto something.
Yeah. So, yo, to build on it, Gavin, Scott had a line. He was like, in this episode, Scott was like, "Do you love me, Jean, or is it just lovely memories?"
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
And she didn't answer the question
Ooh.
because
I think he said like, or is it just familiar or something like
Yeah,
that?
the feeling. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oof. Yeah, is it
Something
love or is
like
it a
that.
feeling? I think was what he said
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
Yeah. You feel
messy.
like yeah, it was just, harsh. Like, you gonna talk to a psychic that way?
She
Yeah.
said, "Don't you turn this around on me, Scott Summer."
Yeah.
She got real defensive real quick after that.
Man. Yeah.
Mind you, I still think the camera was right there behind that door. What you bet they stopped interviewing Beast and were like, hold on, y'all. Do you see like Marvel Girl and Cyclops? What?
This
Like-
is mutant royalty. Like this is like the royal family of mutants. So the camera's like, what was going on over there? There was another bar. Since we're talking about bars, Magneto had a bar. When he was talking, Magneto had several bars. Excuse me, several bars. The one line killer. So Magneto, when the UN person found out that Magneto was gonna be in charge of the country, and then she was like, "How could you let a terrorist lead your country?" And Magneto said something like she was like, how, like most nations don't allow a terrorist to run their country, and he's like, yet so many nations allow their leaders to become terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, I was like,
Yeah.
Shots fired
As,
at everyone.
as an American citizen, I took that person.
I took great offense to that. I took that.
Bro had a bar,
yeah.
and what could you say? What could you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. I was like that hit hard because again, it's like we know how to an extent how America is viewed and the rest of the world was like, yep, we've done that or we're viewed that way sometimes. And then, we view other countries that way. But yeah, just when you said that, I was like, dang, that hit.
Yeah.
Like
And just the politics in play here. Just And you know what? What a good calculated move. It's like, hey, this man just literally flipped the UN, took it to space, and like, let's make him our leader. Because then no one's gonna mess with us. Like, it's a calculated move. It makes a lot of sense. But then it's like, you know what? But let's also soften the blow and let's get Rogue to be, you know what I mean? Like, let's get that political, nice soft leadership to
See,
go with it. And I'm like,
I
man,
got
that's
to
smart.
I gotta ask you, man, because that's what I was getting at. Yo, do you think he planned that from jump? Because she did ask him that, and it's like I wouldn't put it past Magneto to have this really long kind of long game plan to bag Rogue because he as soon as he got in the house he was ready. He was like, "What's up? You remember what it was?
He got
Touch,
a
not
makeover right
talk about
before.
it."
He had
And
a
he got the
makeover right before he
makeover
came.
and he
Luxurious
got
hair,
everything done, but the
arms out,
shoulders on his whole outfit. So
got
I
the M
feel
on his
like he had
chest.
all of
Yeah.
that planned.
He cut
He
the
was
sleeves
ready, but he
off.
still put the M on his chest. I
Yeah.
feel
You
like
noticed
he might
during
have
that
this
rogue
plan.
flashback, he didn't have his hood on or his helmet on the
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
time.
That's
And
all
so
he
he
knew
shows
was
up.
a helmet.
He shows up at the mansion,
Taking the helmet off.
got the hair out. Like, you remember this? You remember this?
Everything. He got the guns out.
Locks. Locks and guns, yo. I feel like he might have had it planned the whole time. No? Come on. Like, Mark, I feel like you were just saying, I just feel like he might have known how this was going to play out. He might not have known that Charles wouldn't have been there, but he probably thought Charles would agree. Rogue would be the perfect, like, symbol
Yeah.
to empathy. You know what I mean? The way that he envisioned it. You know what I mean?
If he didn't know, he definitely capitalized on that moment. Like, is it? Ooh, okay, yeah. Well, if y'all make me the the leader, the chancellor, then we gotta do this. Like, and he just because he said something when they were in the Blackbird. He said something about how like Gambit kind of invited himself.
Yep.
Like Gambit, well, it was just supposed to be me and Rogue to begin with, but Gambit was like, "Nah, like, I can't let y'all be alone for too long."
He's like, look, I done seen y'all have 6 hours in the danger room.
Yeah.
I ain't cool with this.
You ain't going to a whole no girl
Go
trip.
to a whole nother
No
country
girl trips with Gambit in the house.
on the other side of the planet with a bunch of our enemies. Nah, I'm gonna need to come there.
She was like, "It's a business trip." He's like, "That's cool. I'll just hang out in the lobby and do something while y'all."
Yeah.
I'll find something to entertain myself.
It's like, look, we've seen how business trips turn out. Look, hey, Bishop came back with a whole baby. Like it's, no, it wasn't. It was like, we're not trying to have y'all actually come back with a biological baby.
Like Scott over there having, mental OnlyFans. The world is crazy right now. Like, I'm going where you go. I go.
Oh God.
Scott's just in the room like this. Close the door. It's just quiet. Just
accurate.
Good idea, man.
He's like, what's going on? Huh?
Yeah. Hey, Scott been in the danger room for a long time.
Gavin, I do not think he had it planned. I just don't know if Magneto is that intellectual. I mean, he's smart, but like that is like cold-blooded calculations. I think he was just Genosha was always his dream, but the UN and Genosha.
Let me throw one in there because I want you to argue this one.
Okay.
She did say that this is exactly how Magneto said it would be.
Yeah, his Genosha was Magneto's dream.
And his Rogue was a part of Genosha.
Okay, I'm sure he wanted Rogue to be his queen back with his original Genosha plan, but I'm not sure he set up the whole like I'm gonna go to the UN and freak them out, and then they're going to accept that Genosha becomes a country. Like I don't think he planned it all the way out. Like from there, there was no way this was going to happen without Charles Xavier. You just want to keep it a buck. Fair. There's no way they would
if
not
Charles
have accepted
alive,
Genosha.
He'd be the leader.
Fair.
Exactly.
So yeah, but
and knowing Professor X, except for we've seen nowadays through Krakoa what that is, but Professor X will be like, no, we need to be citizens within the world and we need to live together. He wouldn't have been like super gung-ho about Genosha. In fact, he wasn't in the comic books. He was constantly spying on Magneto, trying to see what was going on that island. Like
What are they doing over there?
Constantly insecure. He's like, what the?
Looking through
like
the
that guy over
blinds.
the fence. He was real white boy.
I think about on over there.
Real white boy.
What y'all doing over there?
I wonder what they're doing. You know?
Turn the music down over there. What are they going on?
Many of them over there.
Too many.
It's joy. What's that? That's some joy.
This man is psychic, and he still sends spies over there. Trying to see what's going on.
He don't call the cops. He sends Scott over there. Scott knocking on the door to know we got a noise complaint.
A little
Charles
bit too many
looking,
of y'all.
yeah, that's right.
Quiet down over here.
You get him, Scott. Yeah.
God, keep an eye on things. No, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Oh man. All right, y'all. We gotta talk about it.
Well, hold on. Before we get into the big part,
Oh,
I thought it was a thing of art. It was beautiful. Rogue and Gambit's scene where she's telling them, dog, and then just the imagery, like when Gambit brings up the Queen of Hearts and it's covering Rogue, and then he throws it into the fire. I was just like, man, like this is gripping. Like, and these are X-Men. These are comic book characters that wear red and green tights, and I'm just like, no. I'm like, oh, but he love you, girl. He love you.
But we've been waiting for this conversation for decades.
Yeah.
Been waiting for this for decades. Like, they've had so much tension for like 4 seasons when we were kids, all the way till now. We grown, and the tension, like, it came all the way over to 2024, and it was the same tension. And this conversation, like, addressed all of it. Yeah. It was beautiful.
It was well acted. The animation was beautiful. And then Gambit's like, he's like, I played the rogue, or the scoundrel or whatever. I did your part. And she's like, and that was your share. I was just like, God, I was like, just be together. I was like,
hey, one more time.
My heart was getting ripped out.
City Boy's up another 1,000 points, Joe. I just gotta say it. He said he rejected her when he could have. Hey, Rogue was just saying this is how it is. She didn't say how it could be. Did anybody notice that? Nobody noticed that. She didn't say how it could be. He was like, "We friends for right now." My share. He play. Yo, come on, City Boy's up 1,000 points.
He left his feeling. He's like, she's like, I can't touch you, Remy, and he's like, well, we got this deeper than like
deeper than skin.
It's deeper than skin.
Deeper than skin. City Boy's up 1,000 points.
Another album, another R&B album coming out of the
It's gonna be so fire.
Man,
so fire.
Hurt.
No, but that was just beautiful, man. And then the dinner, when they're at the dinner and like Gambit's getting his drink, and then when Rogue and Magneto dance, dog, I swore they were about to play. The song sounded like Ace of Base. I thought they were about to be playing.
It sure did.
Saw the sign, and I was like, yo, what do you like a '90s reference?
It sure did. It sure looked like that.
All right, Beautiful Nations or something like that. Yeah, that was no more '90s than Ace of Base.
Very. So, Cable shows up.
Let's talk about this.
Mark, we've already talked about Cable, but we got to put it on wax. My guy, you are professional. You're a professional time traveler. All right? Time traveling 101. You never know what's going to happen when you jump. You got to be quick, clear, and deliberate with what you got to do.
Your words, dog. He get them.
Turn the music off.
Yeah, turn the music off.
Why
turn the music off?
About the music? You acting like your daddy right now. You care about the music,
dog. Oh, he's coming. Yo, you are a mutant with other mutants. Be like, there is a giant sentinel coming. Get everyone out. Oh, enough said. Turn off the music.
Just say sentinel. That's what you gotta say. Yell sentinel at the top of your lungs. I promise you it will do the job. I assure you.
What is it about time travel that people forget like grammar? They're just like, the thing is happening, mother. And then your eyes. I'm like, Negro, you got things to do.
Nothing makes sense. Like, I'm too early. I'm too late. Like,
I'm too late.
Something.
Y'all remember The Simpsons, like the lemon tree episode where Nelson's like, something happened at the lemon tree. Come on. And they're like, what? He's like, there's no time. And he's like getting water. And they're like, can you tell me? He's like, no, there's not enough time. It's like, come on, dude. Killed me, man. Like, you are professional. Like Nelson, you professional time traveler, dog. And now we spoke about it. If this was Bishop would have came a week beforehand, would have had pictures
and still been rushing. Rushing. He's like, I got a week.
And he's gonna land here. Here's a diagram. Here's like escape routes.
And Bishop comes shooting first. All right. He doesn't answer any questions. He comes, shoots first, and then he addresses you. All right. This man running around, he had future technology guns running around telling people to turn off the music. Oh my God.
Oh,
that's why I feel like it's got to be given do-over. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can't be how things wrap up for that many characters that fast. It's got to be a do-over. He has to come back and say, oh, my bad, I didn't come back fast enough. And that all has to be wiped out. There's no way that just ends like that. And we lose Gambit, Magneto, nah. And
you said the city boys are up, the future boys are down. All right. Future boys are down right now.
They are not we're not doing it.
His watch must be jacked.
Yeah, I will say the only reason that I feel like I'm okay with it's still, the suspense, but the only reason I'm okay with the way things left off is because, like you said, Cable showed up. So if Cable's there, there's time travel. Cable's gonna, in my thought, Cable's gonna come back again, like you said, wipe this, and so we'll get a do-over and all of that. Because that's the only reason. I'm like, well, Cable was there, so that means maybe next time he'll go back a little bit further and he can stop all of this and prevent it.
But
yeah, you want some of the bad news, Mike?
Oh no.
Go ahead, Mike.
I hate to rain on the parade. This is not the first time Cable was in Genosha. If y'all remember in the animated series, Cable was a time traveler and he came back to Genosha the very first time the X-Men was there. And what was he doing? He was trying to make sure they didn't build things.
Yeah.
So he's been trying to do this the whole time. And in the comic, this is built off of Eves for Extinction. Most of these people gone.
Nah, come on. Nah, come on. Hold up, Mike. Come on, man. You can't just sit there and tell me Gambit is gone.
Now, the Gambit part, I don't know. But
Cable has had one job in all the comics, and he's just failed at it every time. Just your job is to go back and warn people, and every time he's come up.
What was Sinister so excited about? What was Sinister so excited about? If he's this bad at everything he does, like, man, I'm really upset, Mike. You shouldn't have told me that, man.
Yeah, Sinister had high hopes. He's like, "Oh, he's gonna be a time traveler," and he's little did he know.
Genosha being destroyed is like a prime, consistent storyline in several relaunches of the X-Men. Like, it has been a building off point for several X-Men comic books. So I don't want to bust your bubble, Shannon, but
spare me, or at least does Glob Herman make it? Does Glob Herman make it? I ain't watching it.
That's the only person Cable saved. He's like, where's Herman? Where's Glob Herman?
You're the key to it all.
I don't know how Glob Herman talks. I assume it's like that. He comes.
No comment, Shannon.
Hey, who'd you save, Cable? Did you save Professor X? Nah, Magneto, Rogue, Storm. Not Glob Herman though. That kind of matters.
So, all right, one question before we get to the action. Mike, that sonic bullet that went through Jean and Madeline, was that Cable or was that like an enemy, like doing a sonic bomb to the psychics?
That was the thing. I don't know who, but you didn't see it happen to Emma Frost. So
you didn't see that happen to Emma.
It's only the genes.
And Exodus was there. Exodus, if memory serves me correctly, is a stronger psychic than both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
he didn't see it happen to me, or maybe it did, and we didn't see it.
And
But
then
I don't
didn't
know.
both Jean's
Nose started
nose was
bleeding.
bleeding?
Yep,
Yeah.
her nose started bleeding. So I don't, because I think that was right when they started getting that vision from the future. Where remember from the very first episode of X-Men '97, where Madeline Pryor like do the little thing and like she sees like the Master Mode head come out, and then it all turns green. So like that was it's a glimpse of the future. So the whole thing played out again, but then this time you notice there's a bunch of rats, like there's a bunch of rat faces and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a new piece to it. So it's like they see in the future, but I don't know how they getting it. I don't know how they're getting it.
Mm.
Man, I forgot all about those rats.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like, was it like an alien? Was there a spaceship or something involved? Like that sucker went by really fast. But Jean was holding a baby. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Which who the baby?
The baby's Cable.
You
Hey,
did it? Was it for real, Cable? You think?
Yeah, that baby,
was
the
Cable?
baby that Madeline had was Cable.
No, but this was Jean Grey. The flashback that happened in this episode was Jean Grey in like her X-Men 90s Jean Grey outfit, holding a baby with her hair down.
Yeah, that was Madeline. So that's the thing. Like her and Madeline Pryor, they got the same. They be seeing the same thing. So I think,
No.
yeah,
That's gonna be
catching on
freaky.
to it now.
I wonder if we're gonna see that in this season.
Hey, before we get into the crazy action, can we talk a little bit about Rogue Summer Abroad? When she when she put on her Laura Croft outfit and had the summer with Magneto, I was just like, yo, what is going on here? Dog?
Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer.
Yeah.
Let me draw me like one of your French mutants, you know? Just
And she lived a whole life before she got to the X-Men.
Yeah.
he only told them what they wanted to know. And that included sucking damn near to death Miss Marvel. She was okay with telling them that, but not okay with talking about the week she spent with their leader's biggest, baddest rival. What else is Rose not telling us?
Yeah.
Painting. It was like summer camp. She was painting, writing music, eating. She had a chill time.
Rogue was outside.
Yeah. but yo, I'm like, as a viewer, I'm almost like, man, I feel betrayed just like y'all because just like the I guess Gambit or the rest of the X-Men, because again, for me, I didn't read the comics, so I only know from the X-Men animated series and X-Men 97. So all I knew was, yep, your mom had you doing this stuff. Turns out your mom was Mystique. You did some stuff and then you regretted it, and now you're an X-Men. Like I said, like for us as well, we're like, oh
yeah. I'd be kind of
this is the
salty
first
too.
time we know in this whole Gambit, I mean not Gambit, but this whole Magneto story and your hot girl summer, all of that.
Wait a minute, Mystique's your mom, and you be going summer abroad with Magneto? Like, hold a time out. Like, we got to talk about all this. Like,
Yeah, there's some other bodies in the wait. I don't know if they bodies or if she like took Powers bodies, but there's some bodies that she didn't talk about to Gambit. She just left that part out, I think, from on me. What y'all think?
Dog, hold on. She sucked Miss Marvel's powers damn near till she killed her. This woman is an Avenger. All right. And she was okay with telling the X-Men that, but not
spending the summer
with Magneto.
Bodies.
You got to play to the audience.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Charles,
Mike, you damn right, Mike. Oh, you almost killed an Avenger?
Okay.
Right on.
With Magneto?
You can be one of us, but you got it in with Magneto. That's where we draw the line. We gotta ask for it.
Oh shoot!
Yo, but also shout out to them with like imagine that thing where both of them, now I know on one hand we're saying Rogue didn't tell them, but like the same time, as much as they've been going to battle and stuff, Magneto just been pretending like, hey, yeah, this is the first time.
yeah.
This the first time I met her. Like,
Yo, it is. Okay.
Y'all were this close to signing a lease for an apartment or whatever. Y'all were this close. And you ain't like, this is the first time I've seen her during this.
Hey, for real. And she left him just because he got night terrors. She's like, She's like,
He got
Too
demons.
much demons.
He got the
You know
devil.
she's 7. It don't take much, right?
You know, Ro go to church on Sunday. And she's like,
Yeah.
mm.
he got demons. He got some bad spirits in him.
He got that sickness in him. Mm. She left real quick.
Oh God. Whew. Okay, action. So y'all, Gambit and Rogue. Magneto like saw the situation, was like, bet come in. He sent Gambit and Magneto, and we've been with Gambit for a minute. This man took down at least two Sentinels at once, at the same time. Licked 2 cards out and got one Sentinel by the head, knocked the other Sentinel ricochet. He turned around, a 90s Power Rangers fireworks sparkle booth came while he was doing the Akira motorcycle slide back into action, and Rogue just flew by on. We saw that in 5 seconds. That was stellar.
Beautiful.
Stellar.
Beautiful, man. Even how that scene starts off, how a Nightcrawler teleports and saves them just at the last second, like that was awesome. And then when they're on that roof and Rogue wants to help Nightcrawler, but she can't. Again, the touch. We're back to she can't touch him. She'll like make it worse. And what did Magneto say? He's like, we will not live our days wondering if we could save more. I was like, hey, go do it. Go do it.
When they knock Magneto to Professor X's statue, and the statue comes crashing down, and I'm assuming because he has like magnetism powers, he can feel the heartbeats like through the statue of like the many lives that done. This man turned around and said, "They shall be avenged." That was his first words that came out of his mouth when that happened. They shall be avenged, and then takes a monorail, and starts whipping the Sentinel with the monorail.
Yeah.
I saw that. I immediately thought, I was like, he took the whole red line in DC. Just
red line, whipping them like a belt.
Yeah.
Gallery Place.
Gallery Place, Chinatown.
It was right there. It wasn't going nowhere. So he grabbed it real quick. But yeah.
And like, I don't know if I'm thinking too much of into it, but then you have this man who lost everything in the Holocaust, is literally witnessing another Holocaust right in front of his face. He's Jewish, takes a train, a lot of where his people were put on and brought to those camps, and uses that train to to stop this other. I was like, man, this is like layers on layers on layers. This is crazy.
I have a question though. Maybe y'all know this one because I don't really know. But given they recognized him as an Omega level threat, could he have taken out Mega Sentinel, or was that just him using his powers to protect? They had to choose one or the other. Like, was he able to do that?
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to think for as weird as the concept is that like they're like giant robots that seem a little clumsy. These are like highly intellectual technology that is designed. Its full purpose is to kill mutants. So it can it detects Omega level, not because it's afraid of it. It detects it to prioritize killing it first.
Yeah.
So it can address the other mutants. So it's not like these things are built for this, and so like they are prepared for a Magneto. I don't know what's going on metal wise in the like if they're plastic or whatever, but they're not shook of Magneto. I think my personal opinion, I think like nowadays we realize Magneto's Omega level, like an Omega level mutant. I don't know how early that was decided or not, but the take I got was he was using his powers to the Omega level, like right then and there, like having a shield protecting them from like that optic blast, holding down Rogue and Gambit at the same time. Like it was just probably him using it to the utmost level that they're like, nah, he's an Omega level. We gotta take him out.
Yeah. And Gavin, lack for better words, I feel like this Sentinel was whoever sent it, this was their final solution. You know what I mean? This was made to eliminate all mutants everywhere. This was like the final thing that was gonna, the Sentinels, they're, a good defense mechanism, but like this is it. This is like to kill everything, all the mutants. And It was just, I think it was just too much raw power for any like Omega level mutant to handle. I think if Magneto was maybe by his self, he might have been able to like do something, but he was trying to protect the the Warlocks. Is that
Yep.
Warlocks?
Yeah.
You know, and it was just, and then he was trying to hold Rogue back because he knew Rogue was going to just jump right in there, and you know, so
Yeah.
good.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking and I was like, they recognize him, but this is like a Cloverfield-esque kind of
Yeah,
sentinel where it's shedding other sentinels as it continues
definitely
to
got the Cloverfield
move
vibe.
through. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you felt that, right? It was
yeah,
very like we're just gonna keep shedding and continuing to wipe out as we still get this big weapon. But
yeah.
it also felt like if they gonna recognize that this is a priority, is it because he could take them, or was it because they just want to make sure? But that makes sense too. Still hurts, but that makes sense.
And it was so disheartening for me to see it dropping Sentinels. I was like, oh my God, not only do they got this thing, but then this thing is just dropping full functional Sentinels. Can I ask the experts how many mutants died in this attack in the comic books?
It was like 14 to 16 million.
Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
dude.
Million?
Millions. Yeah, millions.
How many mutants are in the world? Like, I feel like that's all of them.
Depends on which generate or which time you like read Genosha, but it was a
Yeah.
significant like the mutant population. Part of the reason of all this fear is like the mutant population is exponentially growing.
Mhm.
And so like if it wasn't for these attacks already, like Genosha, Asteroid M, like every time they try to like build Utopia, every time they try to like build one of those, like a massacre happens. And so it drops the population back down. House of M, it drops the population back down. And if those didn't keep happening, there would already be more mutants than humans on Earth.
Wow.
So
And
Well, that makes me think that war is inevitable. That one that Cable keeps coming back from. It's just
I
going to
mean
keep happening.
that's part of the premise in the book. Like it kind of like no matter what they do, like they always come
it
back to this
always
pressure.
ends up to a war. Yep.
But
Hey,
it's also kind of interesting when you think about like if you kind of translate it to like the real world and like the United States right now, where like the population of people of color in America continues to go up and up, and then you start getting to these inflection points where like now, oh, this immigration crackdown is happening in this sort of way. Oh, and now we're deporting people in a certain amount, like we're deporting people a lot. So like, it,
Abortion.
there's a thread there, like that whole great replacement theory that people sometimes talk about. Like it ends up being a real interesting metaphor on that. Like that there's always these drastic reactions whenever the group that you see as the other starts to like grow past the size that you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting too, just because as you mentioned that, Mike, like I think of again as you talk about race and things like that, because there's been a point in history too where like we'll say it's been like essentially whiteness versus those of color and otherness or whatnot, but then there's been like this period where the definition of whiteness was sort of expanded, like even in the census way back, like so someone we consider Latinx today, like still on the census they check off white, because of that. So anyway, I say all of that wondering, even with this, it seems like okay, so it seems like being a mutant is almost like you're powerful, you're this and that. Aside from society hating you, it's cool to be a mutant. That's what's up. I'm wondering because there's been this level of we want to kill off these people, segregate them, whatever. And then there's also a measure of, oh, this is how we would accept you. Like you can check this box and say you're one of us. I'm wondering, like, is that something
It's
that
already happened.
is already happening with mutants? It has.
And you've already seen it.
Mm.
Think about the mutants that they talk to, like that the humans talk to comfortably.
Like Beast or
No, not including Beast. Beast has to be the smartest mother effer in the room to be acknowledged by them.
Yeah.
He bangs with Reed Richards, all right? It's like Beast is
yeah.
a genius, all right?
Yeah.
No, they look human.
Oh, yeah.
Yo,
Charles
Nels,
Xavier, Jean,
Passing.
Scott, they're passing.
I'm so
Now look
glad
where the
y'all brought this
Morlocks
up.
are. And what do
Yeah.
the Morlocks all have in common? They
Oh.
cannot present, like, they can't hide among the humans.
See,
And
okay, I'm
so-
glad you brought this up.
Ooh.
I thought this is what they were gonna do. What's the boy's name? Sunspot? Or I
Yeah.
think
Roberto.
that's what they were going with his character. They're gonna do this kind of, because he says like I'm one of the good ones. They're gonna do this theme of like passing with him and like being fully committed or fully accepted. And I'm like, yo, like I'm glad you brought that up because I do think they're gonna tap into that. But you're right. All of them look like humans. All the ones that they're cool with, they look like he said, Hank is like one of the smartest people on the planet, and that's the only reason why he gets invited places. Otherwise, like, get out of here, you blue.
His nickname is
man.
Beast. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? He can't be called like Blue Marvel wasn't out back when Beast came out. He could have been called Blue Marvel. You know what I'm saying? They called this man Beast. That's foul. Oh, but yeah.
And then back what I was saying to that whole utopia thing, like you said, Nels, or whoever said the Morlocks are in the sewers, and all the Quiet Council, they all look passing for human, and they're the ones willing and dealing with the human world. And that's not necessarily their design, but it's like, okay, well, we'll at least talk. You look human, so we'll at least talk to you.
Real progression would be if a Morlock was sitting on the Quiet Council. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, I mean, like, how far Nightcrawler goes in society, however far Nightcrawler goes, you'll see progress in the world. And so, like, if they'll sit down and have like a CNN interview with Nightcrawler, we're getting that much closer to them accepting him. But until that day happens and they're putting Charles Xavier and like a mutant that looks like they were in 90s Dawson Creek, like,
Yeah.
if that is the only
They're all
spectrum they feel
beautiful. They're just
comfortable with,
like
you know what I'm saying?
Emma Frost, one of the baddest on the planet. Like, what? Guess we'll deal with you. Like,
We'll talk to you, you know what I'm saying? Storm, people confuse Storm with the goddess. You know what I'm saying? not a model. They look at her and they're like, she might be a higher being. And that's who they feel comfortable talking.
Fine, come on in. Take your shoes off, though. You can come on in.
So there were some moments in the final scene. We talked about Magneto. We talked about Gambit. I'll say there was one other thing with Gambit here. Like, the lead up to the end of the episode is Magneto dies with the Morlocks. Like, the thing shoots its optic beams all the way and like takes out Magneto and the Morlocks. He tries to comfort them, speaking in German. And Rogue is so mad that she is going kamikaze towards the Sentinel. Gambit not only knocks Rogue out, he sees the Sentinels are heading towards where the rest of the mutants are. And it's like, I am the only way I can stop that Sentinel from getting all of them. And this is right after he sees Magneto die.
Yeah.
So he goes and he like goes straight up to the Omega Sentinel. And I have never seen what Gambit did before. I don't know if he's ever done that before. I didn't know he could ever do that. But without even like using his hands, he encapsulated the entire Omega Sentinel with whatever Gambit's powers are. Has that ever happened before? Like, Mike, I gotta ask, has he ever done something that huge before with his powers?
I've never seen him do something on that scale before. Like, that was like, I think like that was big. That was big for Gambit. And also I think it was like, it impaled him. So I think he normally charges stuff with his hands. I think like once it was all in him.
In him.
Like, I think he was able to do something like completely different.
So does his powers work like the size of the object dictates how big the explosion is?
Yep. That's why he normally uses cards.
Dang.
Yeah, because I'm like, the only times I've seen him like blow up stuff like that was the cards, and I remember in the X-Men animated series, for some reason I remember he did that with a coffee mug. Like, it was like a coffee mug and cards. I've never seen him do it with something that that big or nearly that big.
I guess it's good that he uses cards and he doesn't just have like random things in his pocket. He's like paperclip, jawbreaker, Metro card. Like, he just got like a bunch of random stuff.
and he always throws them. So he's not in the middle of it. And he was in the middle of this one.
Yeah.
The biggest one we ever seen before. I didn't know. Hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't know Gambit had it in him.
Mm-hmm.
I do now, but I didn't know he had it in him.
We just lost one of our heroes, and just like that, y'all just not even gonna talk about we lost this man. I get he was powerful, but I'm still hurt, man. That episode ended. I almost cried like Rogue. Y'all just not gonna not talk about it. We gotta address it. Come on, we gotta acknowledge the hurt in the room, man. I'm hurt. Come on, that was a lot.
When that episode ended,
that was a hell of a way to end the episode.
I put my phone down, and I just looked out the window, and I was like,
"There's not one person who's a fan of that show that didn't watch that and just sat there for a minute, like, did that just happen? Is Gambit gone? And did Cable fail? Yeah, Cable, you failed. But yo, Gambit, come on, y'all still not hurt? Come on, is it just me? I'm really hurt.
Well, it's also we were fortunate enough to have a beloved character go out like a G2.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it wasn't just like he got stepped on or like he's the hero. He saved Genosha would be a population of 0. I don't know how many people are left, but it would be no one left if it wasn't for him. And it's like that was a G moment. And then
even Magneto had a G moment.
Yeah. And then again with the touch when Rogue's holding him and she's like, I can't feel you. And the only reason why she can hold him is because he's dead. It's like it's just this cursed lifestyle. She can't touch him when he's alive, but she can hold the man she loves when he's dead. Like, come.
And she says, I can't feel you.
Like, come on.
Do something. No, look. Hey, if Storm, if we don't get Life After Death Part 2 and Storm doesn't get her powers back, I might actually write a letter. I might be one of those fans. We need some sort of vindication of the old team to come back. And come on, that was nobody saw that coming, which I appreciate and respect. Like, hey, Neil, like you said, shout out to the creators and the writers. That was amazing storytelling. Like, I've never seen anything grip me like that in less than an hour. But come on, if we don't get some sort of vindication to build us back up, it's just gonna feel like, dang, like, are y'all trying to, you know what I mean? Just like punish us?
I think we're gonna sit here for a while. Like, I don't think, I know in the world of comic books, like folks come back, but I think we're gonna sit here for a while. Like, I think we're gonna be stewing in this for a minute. This was big. This is Genosha. Genosha is a through line in almost all these comic books. We're not about to get any satisfaction anytime quick. So yeah, bro. We gonna sit here for a minute with this one, I think.
But isn't this what we want? We want high stakes. We don't want status quo. We want drama and passion, and we want this. And is this what you want? Like,
I want Magneto back. I want Magneto back. Yeah. I'm cool. Hey, you know what? Gambit went out like a G. Magneto also went out like a G. I think
Magneto did. I feel like he might have been able to ride it out.
Speak your piece. Speak your piece, Mike.
I was gonna say, I feel like he might have ride it out. So the one that Morlock that was sitting right next to him was Leech.
Yeah.
Leech can make your power disappear.
Ooh.
Notice the Sentinel, because remember, like in the animated series, like whenever Leech is around, like he totally negates your power. So boom, all this stuff, and then the Sentinel says, I don't like Omega level protected.
He does say, I think, does he say neutralized?
He says eliminated.
Yeah.
I don't think he says eliminated. I don't think he said.
He said eliminated.
Yeah, for him, it said eliminated. For Gambit, he said neutralized.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope, man. I feel like
Thank you, Mike. Thank God for you. All right. I could go to sleep at peace with the hope that this mutant hero is still alive.
Let me ask, man, do y'all really want these people to come back? Like, I know it was heartbreaking, but like this, you don't think that's just gonna like taint this sacrifice?
No, I want Magneto
they just come back.
Magneto just saw his dream destroyed because humans couldn't handle it. I want, and knowing that he'll never get Rogue again because like he lost Rogue. All mutants, I'm assuming even Cyclops are gonna want blood or some type of something, and he's the man for the job. I want to see that. I want to see the other side of that.
And I agree with you. I'm interested. Like Rogue has lost the only person who she could physically be with, and the man that she loved. Like I'm like, is this Rogue's Dark Phoenix saga? Like I don't know, something like that happens in the comics, but Rogue might be out for blood, and Cyclops probably too. So like, I'm interested to see that too. But I just don't know if we need to bring these people back immediately or this
Gambit
season.
can stay dead. I ain't being greedy, Mark. Gambit can stay dead. I want Magneto.
I need something back.
I do want to say, like, as you mentioned, like Magneto maybe coming back. Like, I like that thought on that. If he is back, I'm like, we're getting Old Testament Magneto, and I'm like, that is
it's a problem, dog.
Because look, he didn't already warn him. He told him, please do not make me let you down.
It's everyone's problem now.
You made me let you down, so now we're getting Old Testament Magneto. Like, and I mean, assuming if he is back, and that will be. Man, he's like, look, I tried it your way, Charles. Forgive me. They made me let you down. They did it, you know.
Yeah.
And he just out for blood, ruthless.
So let me ask y'all this then: who's the new Charles? Who's the new? Because it's probably going to get there. It's probably going to get to like we want blood, and now the humans are like, well, why are you doing? Like, well, we know why you're doing this, but so who's going to be the Charles?
I'm gonna throw this out there, and y'all can say it, but I think Charles is coming back. I'm gonna just throw it out there. He does. I think he's still not done. I think Charles is coming back in a very crazy, weird way. I feel like he's coming back, and Charles will be the Charles.
Yeah, because he like at the last episode, the Shi'ar Empire came and got her.
Yes,
got him, right? Yeah,
they got his body.
So he's still there.
Yeah,
dang, he might come back.
Can I ask y'all, like, all of the experts?
Sorry, I gotta say that would be Charles. Like he would come back right before a justified mutant revolution and be like, wait, calm down, y'all. That is Charles Xavier 101. You might be right, Gavin, and I hate you for it, but you might be right.
So in the comics, right? I'm asking the experts here. Like, I'm assuming we find out who started this thing, who sent this thing. What's the point, right? Because it seems that it just creates a war and it just ends in calamity. Like, so what is it? Someone who's just like the Joker? They just like to watch the world burn. Is it humans who think they can actually beat the mutants, or is it someone who's just like, I embrace chaos and I want to see the world destroy itself? Because it seems like there's no winner to this thing.
So there's I think the person in the comic book is going to be different than who they do in the series. So in the comic book, it's Cassandra Nova, who's like Professor X's twin from in the womb, and this wild story about kind of how she comes to life and all this stuff. I think she could be that could be one route, and that if so, it could have like some interesting connection. The other one that I think could be, there was this character called Bastion.
Yeah.
So he's basically like Nimrod, who's that Sentinel from like in X-Men animated series. Nimrod combined with a master mode. So like he became like a super Sentinel, but like looks like a human and do all this wild, crazy stuff. I think that one could be interesting because the more I've been rewatching this. Like I watch all the episodes now at least once a week to just kind of be catching up. And there's a bunch of small little Easter eggs that they be like putting in there. I'm like, it could be him. And if it is him, like it explains how the Friends of Humanity got all of that, all the Sentinel equipment, how all the Sentinel stuff starts popping up all left and right. So right now my money is on Bastion or Cassandra Nova.
No, what is their motivation? Just to cause chaos, or that's it? Just like,
can I speak on Cassandra Nova? Well, let me say this. This is one of the few times I would ever say, I hope it's Cassandra Nova. Because Nimrod and a master mode together, I don't even think I like heard the name once. That sounds terrifying. That is the scariest. If I was a mutant, that would be that's some nightmare fuel right there. That's the devil. Like what you just described there. Goodness gracious. What Cassandra Nova's motivation is so deep that it's an episode. I'll give you quick highlights from one version of Cassandra Nova, which is she is the easiest way I can explain it is Xavier's twin sister that wasn't born but existed with Xavier in the womb. That's the easiest explanation of it. One level deeper is she is as strong as a telepath as Xavier, and she is the polar opposite of what Xavier wants. So if Professor X wants peace and love with mutants and mutants are fully accepted, Cassandra's motivation is like, I want death to all the mutants. They are insignificant and they are a cancer to the world. And she is using Professor X's intellect and powers to try to accomplish that in the most sinister way possible. And I would prefer her than the Master Mode combined with Nimrod. I'm just saying. So, yeah, Mike, I don't know if you want to add more. That was the quickest, easiest way I could try to explain Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, you got Cassandra Nova on the head, and then for Bastion, it's just like the Sentinel motivation. They want to eliminate all mutants, and then they eventually go a step further, like, oh well, you know what, mutants are humans, so we want to destroy everything.
Go straight to the source.
Yeah,
they evolved from humans. Might as well kill all the humans too.
Yeah. Dang, that's tough. Because I'm like thinking about Nimrod, remembering him, and remember just how tough it was for all of them to beat just Nimrod. And then remember how tough it was for them to beat a Master Mode. And even when we saw them beat all these Sentinels in like episode 1, those were refurbished. They were refurbished Sentinels. That's why they were able to just like really sort of knock those out. But even then, they still had to struggle a little bit. So imagine, yeah, like you're saying, a Nimrod that constantly makes other Sentinels that, no. That's a wrap. Yeah.
No, but just yeah, man, this is beautiful. This episode is a work of art. Sad to see Gambit go, man. And just he's like, the name's Gambit. Remember it. Just come on, man. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah. And is there any other moments from this episode that you want to speak on? Because if not, we did a great job, y'all.
I want to shout out the voice actors. I think like they were acting.
Rogue's actress was acting her butt off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is her episode. She needs to I'm gonna remember her words of "I can't feel you." I'm gonna remember that for a good while.
I'll give a close second to Madeline Pryor / Jean Grey. Gotta believe both, and I believed both. And when Jean Grey popped in on Madeline Pryor's booty call to Scott, I got scared. That was I didn't know what was happening. That was wild. I'm gonna give it to both of them. Yeah, I would give it to Rogue, then Jean Grey, Madeline Pryor.
Hey, were they hinting at Emma Frost can sense what she was like? She was even reading the text messages, like, you don't cover your phone up, and she was
he was in the chat.
She was in the
chat. Little voyeur action going on. She was watching. Psychics are nasty, y'all.
No, for me, a shout out is really all the action scenes, because when I look at this compared to the first one, of course, yeah, it had great action scenes, X-Men animated series, but I can really see this. Again, we talk about it, this infusion of anime, like anime style fighting that I do not feel that was present in the animated series.
Oh yeah. When Rogue break that, I was like, that's been in an anime. That's has anime written all. She was about to rage, go Super Saiyan in that moment. It's just, it was on her face, the movement, the breaking out, and then she zipped into the Sentinel. It was all anime.
Gammit's flipping around, is with the motorcycle, all of that. I'm like, this is anime, and obviously I love it. So yeah.
One thing, well, real quick, I do want to say with this show, they're good with their money, because sometimes like the animation, I'm like, I just see like I'm like, okay, we're having a good time here. But when it's time to spend that money, dog, they know where to spend it in this show. And it looks really well done. Like the whole attack, that was all very fluid. Magneto whipping the train. But one thing I want to ask you guys, and Els, we kind of talked about this. I think this is going to start a trend of bringing back shows when we were younger that didn't get a proper ending, because we grew up in the time of syndication. Once you met syndication, whatever, stop making new episodes. Now we start selling other networks. But what shows do you, and it's proof you can do this. You can bring back a 20, 30-year-old show and pick up right where you left off, and it could be a success. So what shows do you guys think might come back, or what would you like to see come back if other people use this model?
Beetleborgs.
Oh my God! You took that. You took it away from me.
Shannon, can
Yo,
you
I would watch
that?
Ready.
I should have saw that coming. I should have saw that coming.
Hey Shannon, you know they gentrified that neighborhood. There's like
You know
buildings
it.
all around that ghost house and everything.
You know it.
Oh,
You know
man.
it. That ghost house is a Starbucks now.
Yep.
Starbucks.
Yep. I got one. But see, here's the tricky thing about what you asked. You said shows that didn't get a proper ending, but like some of our like favorite 90s cartoons that I think will come back did actually have like endings, including Reboot. They like ended Reboot properly. Like,
well, it ended
saw
on a
it.
cliffhanger.
They did.
No. They actually finished writing it out. We just didn't see it. It came on later on Cartoon Network.
No. Even that, because at the end, remember, who was it? Megabyte or something. It did land on a cliffhanger though. Even the newer seasons.
With Bob looking like Michael Jackson in gold and all silver and stuff.
No. It was after that. They did another.
After that, they relaunched. I'm about to spoilers for y'all. Y'all came in trying to like react to X-Men, and I'm about to tell you the end of Reboot. So spoilers, popcorn. But it ends with Mainframe being rebooted, like completely like rebooted. And so like all the lives that were lost got like reanimated. And oh wait, no, they even talked after that because at the end there were going to be two Bobs, but you find out one of the Bobs is actually Megabyte. So they had like two movies come after it. And so like they like ended the story of like Jacked Up Bob. I should have Jacked Up Bob. That's messed up. But Jacked Up Bob is like he's just like remade
Bob
and
with the
like
good hair.
regular Bob
Mhm.
again. And that was like, and like him and Doc get married, and that's like the end of the show.
And Hexadecimal helped them defeat Megabyte, right?
Mhm.
Ah, okay.
Well, that was in the like the first when Bob gets shot up. You're
Yeah.
talking about that one?
I was talking about Hexadecimal helped them defeat evil Megabyte / evil Bob.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
You're on mute.
My bad, y'all got me looking up Reboot. No, I'm saying I'm like 80% sure that even that newer season nails ended on cliffhanger, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like
We spending way too much time.
talking about
on Reboot. let me give you mine. So it's not superhero related. Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. That show.
You in this show, dog.
I love that
You in
show.
this
For a
show.
reason, I started watching Toonami. It was my favorite show on Toonami until DBZ came on.
One
And
of the
Real
hardest
Adventures of Johnny
openings ever.
Quest. They didn't properly end it, and that show was folks don't remember how popular that show was because we eventually got Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z is a supremely better show. It's not a competition. But Real Adventures of Johnny Quest was fantastic. I don't think we would have got Venture Brothers if it wasn't for Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, they were so popular they had a toy in McDonald's, if memory serves me correctly, and a Happy Meal. So like it was up there, and I would love to see a relaunch Real Adventures of Johnny Quest because you could do some great things with the Quest family. Like
What?
there are some
George
stories.
Clooney could be Daddy Quest, man. George Clooney. Boom, right there.
You could
Johnny
do
Quest
some
could be
things
anybody.
with them, and like we see it through Venture Brothers and Rick and Morty. Like imagine taking that level of serious drama, but actually putting it with like not having to try to like nail the funny elements of those shows. Like, anyways, that's mine.
I would say I gotta go with a classic. They got to bring back Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Captain
Yes.
Planet. Like, look, if nothing else, Gaia was a black woman,
hmm
and like they picked all these people from all around the world. They could pull a crazy. They can go bananas with Captain Planet right now.
What
Live
about
action cartoon.
Mark knows
what
this.
about Don
We
Cheadle? Don
oh,
Cheadle did Captain Planet.
yeah, that humor joint don't count. But Mark knows this. Mike, there is a Captain Planet story. Like I have a Captain Planet relaunch story. Me and shout out to Husto. Husto knows about this too.
Okay.
For another day. But there we have if they make a live action, we have a crazy story about it. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Ready.
hmm
I just need to see a live action Mega Man.
Going.
I think we're ready for it. The world is ready for a live action Mega Man with the same guy who played Speed in the live action Speed Racer. He could be Mega Man. That's all I want.
Why him?
Can you see anybody else really playing him?
Yes.
He's like literally anyone else.
Anyone. Literally anyone.
Nah, man. I feel like he could play Mega Man. Real rap.
What is so significant about Mega Man that was the actor?
Because I feel like he wasn't the best Speed, but I feel like he could channel that like rage and like that kind of hardcore face behind that hand cannon. I feel like he could do that.
You must have really liked Speed Racer and you want to give him
I
another
really
shot.
did, actually.
Yeah.
I did. I really did. Wachowski brothers, they did their thing, man. What could I say?
Yeah.
If I was just going to think of some, I would love to see Spectacular Spider-Man get a conclusion. Even though you kind of got this in Justice League Unlimited, I would love for Batman Beyond to
Batman
come
Beyond.
back.
That was gonna be my answer until you said
know,
like what you said. Batman Beyond is the answer.
Batman Beyond
Absolutely.
and everything the original, not original, but the 90s Spider-Man, you could bring that back. And
got an ending though.
well, no, him and Madam Web just like
You're right.
Time to find your
They
fairy chain. He's like, "Amen, sister, amen," and then it just like, that's it.
We never got a conclusion to that story.
You don't know what happened, So, and the thing is, that show,
And that's why we hate Madam Web. Sorry, hold on. Let's talk about this for a second.
Well, hold up, real quick, because that show is a crossover show with this X-Men universe, so you can easily pull a Spider-Man.
Oh, no, that's right.
And just fit them right in there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. You want that though.
Oh, I want it, yeah, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That would be amazing. We see Madam Web
Yeah.
and Pete winging in.
Dope.
They just land in Genosha. Oh my god! Like,
Speaking of crossover, I can't really think of one, so I will say Beetleborgs. I'll say Beetleborgs. But speaking of crossover, I don't know. Did y'all see the trailer, the sneak peek for the next episode? You see who's going to be in this one, in the next one?
oh, I didn't see
Cap, right?
Yep, Captain America.
Oh,
Captain
man.
America, and who knows who else is going to be, but Captain America,
Oh,
because the trailer, like he throws the shield, you see like the shield go into the snow or something. So,
And here's the thing, and Mike, you can defend me on this. It's usually not a good thing if Captain America is around with the X-Men after some stuff already happened to mutants. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't usually mean that Captain America's on the scene like, oh no, let's go fight whatever killed the mutants. It's usually calm down, mutants.
Oh,
Y'all need to not try to kill the humans. That's the kind of energy that Cap usually has around the mutants. So I'm not necessarily excited about Captain America's shield being up in this episode. So, and Mike, I mean, look, we've had X-Men versus Avengers like comic series, but I'm curious on what your reaction is to Captain America's shield.
Yeah, Captain America gonna come in trying to keep the peace, and y'all seen Cyclops is feeling real spicy right now, and so usually what ends up happening, they end up throwing hands every time.
All out. It's going to be nice. It's going to be dope.
yeah.
It's going And not to bring it back to Spider-Man, but Spider-Man, both Captain America and Rogue were in that Secret Wars of the Spider-Man animated series. Not Rogue, Storm.
Storm,
Storm
yeah.
was in that too. So like they are in this universe. Captain America and Iron Man have been established to be in the same universe. So we might get a little Avengers versus X-Men kind of thing going on here.
Mm-hmm.
That would be dope. All those same characters from that Secret Wars cartoon, that two-parter in the movie, that would be hard.
That'll be dope. Well, y'all, anything else? Cool. Hearts and minds clear. We feel good. Can we move on? Can we move on to with our lives, man? I know this was a deep and intense episode, man, but you know, got to see it through. Y'all feel good?
Nah, man, hey, let me ask you this. This is early. The dust hasn't settled. Is this show better than Invincible?
I haven't watched Invincible yet.
Nope.
Gavin, you say no? I don't know. I
no.
think
Nope.
I think it might.
We've already gotten 2 seasons of Invincible, and this is just season 1 of.
We talk about quality, not quantity.
That I'm still gonna give it to
might
Invincible. No way.
It might be. It might be. Dog. It's only going up from here with X-Men. The writer has said this is the climactic part, and there's more to come. So I said it might be. I didn't say it is. I just said it might be. We might need to do some calculations. Is all I'm saying.
Because I'm saying back and talk about that. Invincible is my jam, yo. Come on, yo.
Look,
come on.
We all like. Well, I think those of us seen Invincible are really enjoying it.
Yeah,
but. Dude, and like I said, the dust hasn't settled. It's only been 5 episodes, but the fact that the 5 episodes we can even like talk about this, like,
I mean, Invincible has only been around for like a few years. The X-Men's been around this cartoon series for like about 20-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Like
we've been.
It came out of
the facts.
It came out of retirement. It's the old head going against the rookie.
Okay. I'll give you that. But better?
And I do want to.
I don't know, yo.
And I do want to say, like, for me, I feel like, and this isn't even an insult because it was still a great episode. I feel like maybe the weakest episode has been episode 4, Jubilees, and even that wasn't bad. Like, it was still like, yo, Jubilee got these powers, she can do this. So I'm like, their weakest episode has still been like, yo, that was still good. Yeah. So like, I don't know though. But like you said, the dust hasn't settled because I am loving Invincible. I mean, I'm sad now because I gotta wait until who knows what when does season 3 happen? However long.
Here, right? 2025.
2025. God. Okay.
I mean, that's better than the wait
next year, Shannon. Shannon's like, oh my God.
Yeah, 2 years between the last ones. So I think 1 year is a little better.
They know they got a hit, so they cranking them now.
How dare they?
Yeah. I just
6
want
months from now.
I want it by May 2024 at the latest.
Yeah.
Well, we know, and we know, Shannon, you know, you're famous for your sites. So you probably know how this series ends already.
Yeah. I'm biting my tongue because I'm already midway through season 2 of X-Men 97. So.
All right. Well, y'all, thank you all for reacting to episode 5 of X-Men 97. And thank you, Pop Cult. Thank you for listening. Mike, Gavin, appreciate y'all coming around. I am almost certain we will need y'all's presence again. We have a new episode every month. You can find us on all social media at Pop Cult Parent, POPCULTPARENT. Visit us at www.popcultparent.com. Become a member of the Pop Call at our Patreon, patreon.com/popcultparent, where you can see all our full video episodes. Email us at popcultparent@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate us, review, and subscribe. And as always, join the cult. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Pop,